first time I'm actually doing this kind of, conversation. I've done over YouTube, I've done like online, but this is a really first time, and the infrastructure is not that great because I have to go there, show there, and then the screen is also very small. The experience is really, really bad, right? But I'll try my best to give as much as, information, whatever I have learned from last 8, 9 years. I mostly work with the SaaS companies from last 8 to 9 years, and I work more than 17 startups. Zomentum is my latest company where I'm working, and 4 years I'm working here, so it's the longest period. So I'm working here in Zomentum, but I have a side project. I think a lot of people have seen my site called SaasUI.design. Who have not seen? Can you just? Oh, a lot of people are not seen. So do check out, because if you are building SaaS products, so I had the problem to go and check like real SaaS applications screenshots. So I was trying with like Dribble, Behance, but there you will get lot of like putting something on showcase kind of a design, which is very exaggerated, but you will not get that real feeling of that design. So I started collecting that, and I started putting that in SaaS UI.design. And last 1.5 years, you will not believe, I have a like very high traffic on the site, and people request a lot of companies to showcase. And right now, I have hosted around 150 SaaS companies' product there. So that means I have experienced their product. So in my entire learning is from this platform, and as well as wherever I work. But it's less about me. Now I'll talk about that, what all things I'll talk today. So I'll not talk the product design here, because I'm not sure how many people are from product. Very less, right? You are product. And most of the people are from sales and marketing and other area, right? So I'll mostly talk about how you can put UX on your SaaS design, especially for marketing and sales. And also I'll share some practical hack that how we actually implement inside our Zomentum. And the third thing is I will talk about some onboarding optimization. And we have seen a lot of companies get benefit from there, where they convert their user after onboarding. And then I'll show, of course, some amazing tools, because tools are my favorite, because without tools you can't do the design. But those tools are not actually meant for designer. They are actually meant for all kind of like users. Like you're a marketing guy, you can actually use that, right? And lastly, of course, AI will be there. So how you can also leverage that, I'll show you practically. So that's what I connected with internet. If internet goes off, then please don't blame me, because it's all are real, okay? Like live. So tell me, which one is the product? This one or the website? This one? Both. Which one? Right, and you are saying both. Okay. So actually both are product. You know why? Because your website is also a product. And we ignore, because this is where your user come first and experience your product. And often you will see that you are not taking care of your website. Your landing page is broken, different buttons in different pages, typography problem, all these are happens, right? Because here, they comes after your website, right? So we'll not talk today this, I will talk today this. By the way, we recently redesigned our homepage, Zomentum. It's live, and I took the screenshot from there. So now, how UX play a vital role there? Especially for this, this marketing design and for campaign and all this. So there are 3 factors we practice inside Zomentum, and I personally get a lot of benefit from these 3 practices. One is the user-centric approach. Now, there's a big word that you have to do, user-centric approach, but I will simplify this in a 3 simple steps. Second is the visual appealing and the brand consistency. I'll show you how we are taking care of it in a very minimal effort and like very smaller version of that part. And you don't need a bigger team for that. And third is the data-driven iteration. Because whenever we do the design for this landing page or the home page, we'll say that, hey, I don't like it, or I don't, like, it's not working out, let's change it. But why to change? That iteration should come from data. I'll show you how we take care of that and what all tools we use to take care of that, okay? So first, I talk about the user-centric approach. It's a very simple, like, steps. Think about it, why you came here. You came here for this workshop, okay? So you are interacting with me here, and then after that you will go from here. So every user has 3 steps in their journey when they are interacting with your product or website or anything. First is the before, means where all your marketing campaigns or your awareness, your social media, everything you do. And then during, when they come to your website, okay? And then when they go from your website. So your website is a most valuable product, and we ignore that. But if we look at very closely, that each and every visitors have these 3 steps in their 3 stages in their journey: before, during, and after. I'll give an example. So let's say you are running a campaign, and that campaign has a nice visual, okay? Now somebody clicked on that visual, and believe me, I have seen a lot of like campaigns are landing in their homepage. Now they are lost. Even that visual message and all are not connected with during, right? So when it happens, when you don't, observe your user, or when you don't actually go deeper with your user. So any landing page or campaign, I think the first approach should be that, hey, who is your user? Why they are coming it here? How they are coming it here? And what they will do during that phase when they will be inside your website. Now, next is what? After they leave from your website, you'll say that, oh, we will do retargeting. Those are technical. But will they share your website? Will they write a blog about you, something like very interesting? I'll give a practical example. Why I'm talking about SaaS UI.design? I have around 1,700 newsletter subscribers around the world, and I spend 0 money. And if you search for anything, for an example, if you search for ChatGPT UI, or let's say like SaaS user interface, SaaS UI.design come first, even before Dribble. Even like if you search for like SaaS inspirations or SaaS UI design inspiration, it comes first. Now what is my learning from there? That one is that you have to do honest SEO design. Honest SEO design, not writing all of your keywords. On my website, there is no keywords. It's all are related to visuals. But the target audience, my user, are very niche, because I'm targeting all the product designers or the UX designer who are working for SaaS companies or who are building SaaS products. Then, whenever they come, actually they share these screenshots with their team. How I capture that? Because I have an analytical tool. I've seen that people has their internal knowledge base where they add my website URL, okay? And a lot of YouTubers also like, share the SaaS UI.design. So that is the after, right? When you are coming inside my site, you interact, you are actually sharing my site. You are actually talking about my site. Why? Because I care about the user. So that's what, whenever you are doing the design, please make sure that you are caring about design. You are not caring about everyone, right? You have a niche audience, and that you need to take care. So that's basically the user-centric approach. Now, basically this journey template, it's a very bad experience to see, but generally this we use when we do the design for product. So there's a stages. Every stage you have different actions, and then you find the opportunities. But we don't do this when we do the design for website or any marketing campaign. We don't go with all this big thing. We just simply understand why they are coming, who they are, and what they will do, and after that, whether they will, what will be their engagement with us. So that's how we design the entire experience. Now, I talk about second part, visual appealing and brand consistency. So now what is that? So you heard about design system, right? So everybody is talking about design system, but you know what? That's a big thing. For marketing design, you don't need to build a design system. You have to create a mini UI kit. And this is our live mini UI kit, which we use inside Zomentum. What we have done 3 things. One is the typography scale, because that is very important. Whether in every screen, everywhere, we have the consistency of the typography. Then we created some color palette, which we are using across the platform. Now, also we have created some breakpoints. Now, technically, if you use Figma, then you can actually do that breakpoint through auto layout. So we build that. This is a one-time investment. You don't need to do every day. Now, here is one more screenshot. We use Canva for our 80 to 90% marketing design. And I'll show you today how we use that. It's so simple. Even we use Adobe Express to do that. Because those things, you don't need designer to do that. Anyone can do. But what we have done from the design side, we built that brand kit inside this. So they are using that brand kit. Now I'll go to actual Figma and show you that how this looks and how we apply that. So we created all these type scales, and we have done it from our, that code design team, and we build all this local style guide, right? And now when we actually do the design, what we have done is, we ask our marketing designer or whoever is working for landing page that don't recreate it, use this component. So that's how we are bringing visual consistency. Now how it happened, if you look at, for an example, this is a button, right? So now if I want my other designer to design this button, he or she will do some mistake for sure, because you can't actually, rely on people's eye. But here, let's say I don't want this icon right side. So the way we build the component, we actually do some toggle. Say, so here the controls are there. So we have not done a big design system, but a very mini UI kit. Wherever you need, you just apply this. So you don't need to worry about color. You don't need to worry about typography. You don't need to worry about the style. Whatever style we have defined, you use that, right? Similar way, these buttons are meant for different sizes also. For example, this is primary button, and this is a base one. Now, if I want to use some of the other components, so how we do this? Basically, we just drag and drop, and then we change from here. This is a secondary button. Now I'll use primary button, done. I need the size of large, done. I need to change the text here, so I change. So the basic designer can actually use this system, and he or she can build consistent design for landing page or your any other marketing design. Correct? So this is inside Figma. When we do any kind of landing page design or anything, we use that. But I'll show you now Canva, how we use that. So we also created, this presentation is also done in Canva. I'm not ambassador of Canva, but I love Canva because it saved a lot of time. So we created some brand hub here. Now, let's say this slide, you want to change the design or the color of that slide. In the left side, if I say shuffle, so it actually changes the color, and you don't need to, these are our brand color. When you shuffle it, it will change the design, and it will give you the fresh look. At the same time, there are a lot of other elements are there, which we don't want other designers or anyone to create. What they do, they just go and use their inbuilt repositories there. And then they compose this. Okay? Now sometimes you need inspiration. So I'll also show you from where you can actually get variety of banners and other inspiration. They are practical, means practically people use that. Companies are using this. Now next, I talked about data driven. So this is 16 July, I think, we capture our website's heat map tracking. And we actually analyze this from our design side, and we inform our marketing team that whenever you are building something, hey, look at this, how user move from this area to this area. And then based on this and the Google Analytics and the other analytic platform data, we make decision whether we need to change our layout of the marketing page or not. So how this actually looks, I think you all have used a lot of this kind of platform. See, users are moving, we capture this. Based on that, we do iteration, where user click, where they move. So nothing hypothesis that, hey, I don't like it. And thanks to our stakeholders, they understand, because a lot of time design has a problem to actually convince the stakeholders. But whenever we suggest something, we go with the data. That why this is not working, what we should do. And the same thing I can show you, so inside SaaS UI.design, I use full story. I think, it's not here. Yeah. So inside SaaS UI.design also, I use full story to make sure that how users is moving from one screen to another screen, and how many tabs also they open. So for an example, this user, it will take a time because it's live. So here, can you see that what was the resolution we can capture, how many tabs he has opened? Because what happened when they're going one screen to another screen, so this guy actually may open this screen in another tab. So we can actually capture that also. Based on that, we make decision whether the next link will be in the same window or it will be on the new window, right? So this is how we iterate the design, and this is how we impact. So UX is not about just the product. Look at it, website is your first product. And if you apply this, I think your conversion rate will be very, very higher, right? So we got some results, especially this site project, which has got a very high result, because the entire website is clean. I'm not adding any ads. A lot of people ask me that, hey, put my ads, but my users are not coming here to see the ads. So think about why your users are coming. If they are coming for ads, then I'll put ads. But they're not. So that's what user we need to keep mind user. Now I was talking about the actual reference of when we do this banner design for our campaign. So most of the designers or our stakeholders give some example, hey, do this, do that. But I will show you one website. I'm not sure whether you all know or not. The site called moat.com. And if you go there, actually you can search by the brand name that, actually brands, how they are, have designed their campaign. For example, this is for Zoom, and this is live. They have actually used this to convert their user to customer. So these all are ads. So you can actually go to any, you can search for any brand, and you can get inspiration. And then you can actually take to your Canva or Figma to iterate and create a quick version of it, right? So you can actually search for any brand. For example, Zoho. You can search for it, Zoho CRM, how they prepare the campaign. You can actually get from this website that these are the variety of ads they created. And these all are practically people use that. It's not like somebody put it on Dribble, on blog post, not like that. So this is a very useful resource, which I also use personally to go and check. And this guy created, it's a like very good resource. Marketing campaign ads, like maybe in Google Ads, maybe in Reddit, LinkedIn, wherever they have. So when you mouse over on it, they actually give some metadata of it, like what is the devices for, and then see this thing is they have put a share button because this people will share. So they give a share button here. This feature is very important. So this is a kind of a website. This is not a product, right? But this is a product. And they introduced this feature called share. So they share this, right? So this is quite useful. I'm sure whenever you will build this, your next campaign, this will give you a good reference. Now, this is a live traffic of SaasUI.design. Right now, 19 people are online from different countries. So I just give a proof that it's not like I'm just talking about the vague number. So during the office time, only Saturday, Sunday, there's a very deep of traffic, but consistently like 15, 20 people are online because of they are actually getting a value from here, right? So this is meant for the user. So this is basically when you are designing, keeping your user in mind. And also, I was talking about how we get to know, okay, who has actually shared this. So I'll show you that through how you can use the data. So through this Google website webmaster tool, you can actually get that, what is happening with your website. So for an example, I'll just go back. So here, there's an option called like referring link from other website. This will give a very big insights that, hey, who all actually, added or put your link. And this, why this is important, because when you go to this website, you'll see how they actually embedded the link, what title they have put there, what kind of banner they have added. So this, from there your traffics are coming. So this will give a very clear idea that, okay, what kind of visual work you need to also do because people are loving it, right? So this data will give you a very big chance for doing your next iterations. This one. So this is Google Webmaster tool. So your this SUN guys can give you the data that, hey, share me what are my referral links from other website. So last 20 days, every 20 days you should check, it changes. What are the top referral and what are the newest one? So this is like top referral link and another is the newest referral link. Somebody, see, look at this, somebody in their local host, they put this link 2 days ago. That means it's internally they're sharing it. So somebody, put on their blog. So, there is a called startpage.com. Somebody created something and they put the link. So this will give you a clear indication that where all your products are traveling and how it's traveling and how users are reacting on this. This is how you can only bring growth, right? If you don't fix all this. Okay. Now, what is the next? So I talked about the, how we use the data here. And now the practical hack. So I'll show you how we actually do this. Let's say we are creating a, one, maybe a Facebook post or a landing page. Let's start with the Facebook post. So we use Canva. So what we do first we go to that different, Moat site and try to see some layouts. Now, if we don't like the layout, we start building the layout from here. Why? Because let's say I want a background here. So I'll go to background. I can actually bring any background, right? And I can just put the background. I don't need a designer to bring the background here. See, so easy. Now I need one, maybe a figure here, where it goes, elements. Now you search for businessmen, maybe, right? Or maybe a people. So now from here, I can actually take this guy. Now I don't need the background, right? See, it's so easy. So if we have the design team previously, they will actually go to Photoshop and do all this. It takes me fraction of seconds to do that. Similarly, we use also Adobe Express, because if you use Adobe, their full subscription, yeah. This is Canva. So every marketing team should use Canva, by the way, because this will give you, now if I want to change this color, let's say, so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I will apply my, brand shuffle I will apply if I put some background color and all. So this will give me a different design ideas. I'll tell you one more thing. Let's say now you have seen that a lot of people are generating images from AI, correct? For that you need to know the prompt, right? How you know? So prompt is a very complicated things, right? But I'll show you how you can do that. So those are basically hacks. So Canva use Stable Diffusion in their backend. Stable Diffusion, that's an image generation engine. So Stable Diffusion has one search engine called Lexica. Now, let's say I want, for example, I'll just refresh once. And let's say this is what I want to generate, but some certain changes require. Here, it gives a proper prompt, that which prompt actually generate this. Now what you can do is, actually you can copy this prompt and go to Canva, and Canva has text to image generation, because they also use the Stable Diffusion same way, right? Now you paste that prompt, of course it will not give you the same thing, but you can iterate this, just change this prompt a bit, what you need. Then it will generate something different. Similarly, inside Adobe Firefly also, you can do that. Take one prompt, put it in another way, another place, and just edit slightly. This will give you a slightly different result, and you can reshuffle it, and you can generate more images or more ideas on that. So then you can actually use any of the images. Imagine if you want to put the prompt, then how much time will it take to, yes. No, they have their Adobe Sensei. So Adobe has two things. One is their Sensei, which is basically all these inside Photoshop and other products they are doing it. But for image generation, they have clearly mentioned that they are taking reference from Adobe Stock and their Sensei. These two technologies combine what they actually put inside Adobe Express as well. So Adobe Express is similar to Canva, but the experience is not that great. But you will have access to a lot of Adobe's images, which basically give you more creative freedom to do that. So how I do is basically, or my team is actually doing it. So we use some photo from Adobe, we download it, we bring it back to Canva, and then we actually use that. Although it is our license, but there we are not flexible, because we are not able to do a lot of things. So we are doing it here. That's how we manage it. In fact, our current website image is from Canva. It's from actually Adobe, it's from our, so this image is from Adobe stock image. So we first put it on our Figma. We remove the image from Canva with a single click, and then we compose it here. And this entire website is managed by no coder. So we have only one Webflow designer and myself. These two guys are managing, and there is one designer who actually help us to do few compositions. We use Zero Developer to build this website. So this is Webflow. So Webflow is you can do a lot of things through Webflow, and you don't need a designer for that. So I'll not go into that, because that's a little bit of technical thing. For that, designers' audience important. But how you can hack it, because these tools will actually give you the whole power to do anything you want to do. And as I share with you that through Figma, let's say you are making one presentation, so you can actually use, instead of Google Slide as a designer, my recommendation will be like use product like Canva or like, some others. But this Canva is actually awesome. You can collaborate, you can edit, you can do whatever you want to do. For that, you don't need a design like experience or doing something. Okay. And I want to show one more tool. Have you heard about Miro? How it can help you, Miro is not just a brainstorming tool or wireframing. I'll show you that how we actually use that. Let's say I'm running a campaign for syncing email and calendar. I want to run this campaign, but I want to do brainstorming. I don't have my team. How can I do that? So Miro has the AI. I didn't mention about the AI in my promo video, but everything we are doing through AI. So here, so this little button will help you that, okay, I want some, so you want to generate some mind map, you want to generate some question, or you want to expand with ideas. So if I say expand with ideas, it will take, couple of seconds, depending on the speed. And then it will give you the entire ideas in one shot. That, hey, these things you can do. So these are the ideas. For that, I don't need to go to anywhere. I'm just creating this. Okay, now I want to expand this. Let's say I want some more idea from here. So I can actually, again, use AI to like, okay, expand with questions or expand with topics. I want to create a blog post on this. So I can actually get some idea from this blog post. For that, I don't need to go to ChatGPT and do that, because you need to know prompting. But here, I don't know what they're using, but they made our life easier. By the way, it's not free, so you have to pay for it. But fortunately, Miro gave me free account, so see, these are the topic you can actually go. So this tool, so center is that my subject, my ideas, that, hey, this is what I need. I want to run a campaign. I want to like launch my new product. I want to launch this. I want to launch that. But I don't have idea that how I'm going to do this. So this tool will basically help you to generate ideas. Even I have done a lot of like design by asking that, okay, what UI element I should put. I was running out of like ideas that, hey, I'll put a button or background or something. I said, please suggest me something. Of course, through ChatGPT or something, you have to put some proper prompt. So step by step, you have to go, and then you are getting lots of ideas. So that's how we use these tools. And of course, apart from this, we use for our other brainstorming. Yeah. Let's say you have done some user research. So you have done some user research, you have some pointers. So what you have done, you are putting them as a sticky note there. Okay? Now you want to categorize them. So for doing this in manually, it will take a long time. You have to put your brain. So you select all this. I'll try to show you. I'm sure I have something. So inside Zomentum, we use Miro internally with our design and product team, and as well as with the marketing team, because they will not be able to use Figma and all. So we bring them even like with this tool, we actually integrate a lot of other things. Like for example, they have done some documentation on Google. So we just simply copy and paste, and it is a like live embedded thing. So we don't have to go and do edit there. We can do it from here. So I think the internet is very, very slow. But what happened is, yeah. So I think it is not, there is no data. I don't know where it will be. But so generally what happened is when you have the sticky notes, so you can ask AI to segregate that. AI will automatically segregate whether it's a like UI related problem, whether it's a like your UX related or maybe your content related, so they will segregate it. And then you can do that research here. But yes, of course, for doing the questions and all, you can't use Miro. We personally use ChatGPT for doing a lot of things. For an example, how we do that. So we actually, go to different LinkedIn profile. Let's say I will go to your LinkedIn profile and I want to, send you a very, interesting message that where you will actually, connect with me and give me the project. So I'll go to your profile. I'll create your entire data in a PDF. I'll copy and paste inside ChatGPT, and I'll ask that, hey, write this, this, this. I'll put some prompt, and then I will actually, get that. So a lot of founders, I send email through that only, but nobody responded, especially Indian founder. But I asked a lot of other designers who are influencer to share my SaaS UI design website on their Twitter handle and all through that method, and they actually shared that. So it works for me sometime, and so it's your luck who you are sending. But this is way you can actually get that. And how we do the user research, so my colleague is here, Elena, so she is on our UX research team. So what we do is we actually capture all the user name, actual customer name. We go to different social media. For an example, we go to Reddit. A lot of our users are there in Reddit. So we download their profile, and then we go to their website, we go to their LinkedIn, and then we compile everything in one PDF, and then we, get their core pain points or their, goal, everything through the prompt, and then we put our brain to make sure that, we are doing the right research. Otherwise, so we take help, but we don't 100% rely on that, because at the end of the day, we need to take a decision based on some other factors also. So that's how we use the entire data. Okay, so that was this thing. So I talked about the user onboarding, which is very important. So first of all, most of the product we either, so if you look at, they are either self-serve kind of a product where your users are coming on your website and they are doing sign up themselves, and then after some time they don't use the product. That happened, and they first interact with your website, they fill up the form, they directly go inside the product. So there are 5-6 elements. So these 5 things we actually follow, and we have done our user onboarding. Although our software is not meant for self-serve, but I'll show you one company who does it really nice. So first is personalized and welcoming experience. So everybody, if you give the same experience, then definitely people will not stick with your product. Second thing is that, if they're coming from landing page, or if they're coming from your website, product page or feature page, that's how you need to communicate your value proposition, right? And that should reflect on your onboarding experience. And the other thing is, whatever feature you have, do not, put them immediately, because they will not be able to consume. You have to gradually open for them. And the third thing is, there should be very less friction. If you ask for a lot of things, and if it is not enjoyable, people will not put the data. And we know all this, but we don't apply, actually. We just do quickly, and then we finish it. Then we talk about the proactive user guidelines. So I'm not sure how many people have put their user onboarding inside the product. So we have a very guided thing. Inside our product, we actually build that, but there are some other products are there which will help you to do that. But I'll show you one product who does it really nice. So I'm just learning from that product at this moment. So so they are also CRM platform, ATTIO. But if you look at, so after giving my credentials, they say that I sync your email and calendar. By the way, I took that from here, and I was doing practice on Miro. So that subject came from here when I show that brainstorming. So look at this. Here they're explaining, but right side in the visual, they're doing some activities. Now what happens if I say, okay, I will continue without syncing. They're saying, are you sure? I said, okay. Then it take me to the product. I'm not sure about the how I'll get the internet. So every time you go, first time when you go, they actually tell you that why you are using this particular data, that where this data will affect, whether you're putting the name will come here. So they visually communicate that inside the product where you are doing. And then they don't, reveal all the features immediately. They will give you a small task, finish it off, you go to the next. That's how they, teach you and they put you on the next level. So the entire experience from their website to inside the product is like seamless, which I'm also trying to learn that how I can apply or our team can apply inside our Zomentum. So we have done something I cannot show right now because the internet is so we made the entire onboarding slightly different. Although it's like close like product, like you can't go and sign up because we have some integration. Without that, you can't switch on your product. So that's the reason our team need to handle. So those all are basically not self-serve. But once that user is inside, so they also have a lot of like clear goal that what they have to do, and then they actually learn and then they proceed for the next. So that's how we try to make that onboarding easier, right? I talked about some certain tools, but of course, apart from that, like personally, I use Midjourney. For that, you need a very, very big prompting. So there are a lot of like areas like Lexica, where you will get the design ideas. For example, you want to build some really attractive banner, but you don't know how to start, how to create that backgrounds and all. So Midjourney will give you a high quality things, but at the same time, the prompting of Midjourney and the pricing is very high. Until it's not require a very big budget campaign, we don't use, but if it is required, then we use Midjourney also to create those visuals. So we use Canva, we use Figma. We don't use Adobe Photoshop and all. Even if we need to do some video editing, we do inside Canva. And Miro we use, and sometime, After Effects for doing our onboarding animations, which we convert them through Lottie. So those are a little complicated. I think those are not applied in the sales and marketing area, but inside product when they are, so we use that. So primarily like Canva and Figma, this and Miro can really help you to do all of your campaign, and you can actually use this without having a design knowledge. So you can actually create design as per your own taste. So that was my entire talk. And so I'm also building some content for this SaaS specific content. So I have a YouTube channel called SaaS UI Design. You can go and you can see I started putting like cancellation flow. That's a very critical. When somebody cancel, how you want to retain? Do you want to retain them? So you need to understand how other products are actually retaining users. So now I'm experiencing different flows, critical flows, and I will definitely put inside SaaS UI Design. At the same time, I'm adding on my YouTube channel. You'll not see a lot of voice there, only the flows and all, because that's what is important. But this will really give you a sense that how other products built. And yeah, that's all from my side. Of course, like, share, and subscribe. Yeah. I have a different presentation on dashboard. So there are a lot of kinds of dashboard. Like one is like informative dashboard, interactive dashboard. So I'll show you, I actually made a presentation, but today the topic is not on that. So I did that. Dashboard design from my project. I have to go to my project, sorry. It came in a different thing. So I made a complete presentation. There are 6 kinds of dashboards and how to actually put the data on those dashboards. So give me a minute, I'll. I think correct. No, I'm in a different account, maybe. I don't know. No, this is my personal account. not sure. There are a lot of things, so I'm really sorry I can't show you something, but I have done the presentation that there are 6, 7 kinds of dashboard. Like for example, like informative, then interactive, then actionable, like user are getting, doing the task through the dashboard itself. And what all elements need to put. And there is a nice website called Data Vij Project. Data Vij Project. I'll try to open that. So a lot of time we don't know what kind of charts or graphs we should use, but so this website will give you a clear, yeah, okay, just, yeah. So this website will give you a clear idea that in a dashboard, what kind of charts and graphs you should use, because a lot of time we use wrong charts in the wrong place. So, this DataVich project actually put all the charts and their use cases and how they actually apply in different areas. For an example, this one, if you go then the kind of the functions, the shapes they have used, and these all are some of the examples how they are practically using in some of the products or in some of the applications. So this will give you a clear idea that you Slack me that. I'll open my Slack for the time being, so I'll switch off. Yeah, I told my office that I'll not come today. Give me a minute. I didn't, yeah. So yeah, I think although this is not a subject for this one, but I'll show you quickly that. So like for example, like what is a dashboard, type of dashboard, the best practices and all. So you have this operational dashboard, analytical, strategic, platform dashboard. So I capture all the information that what all basically operation dashboard, what all needs to be there. And then their meanings and what are the best practices, what we should do in the dashboard. So this is a different presentation altogether, but yeah, some other day if I get chance to, I'll share that for sure. So yeah, this is all this we use some of the, these all are my design when I used to work with Minjar Cloud. It's a this is actual design, which is acquired by Nutanix. So this product now called BIM, Nutanix BIM. So you'll see this design there. For that, actually I need to highly collaborate with my tech team because these charts are not that easy to implement. So tech team need to do a lot of customizations and then you can actually do that. So yeah, so that's all. Anything else, or else I'll wrap it up. Yes. I can come there. Yeah, please ask me.
I have a question bit outside.
Okay.
Still design.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, think about it in such a way that right now voice is becoming a channel, right?
Correct.
People, I think my kid also is like,
Yeah.
there is no funda of
Right.
voice is there.
Right.
That is one. I think in next maybe 4 or 5 years, there is a lot of activities happening on AR, VR.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
There are other things also that are happening. So how do you think design will change? Because think about it, right? Voice is going into
So,
design in voice.
first of all, I'm not an expert of all the fields of design, but as per my understanding and whatever I have learned, voice design is a big challenge. If you look at in the back end, in the behind, there's a like a complex design involved. And what user interacts, it's very simple. But if you look at the product, they, like Alexa or any other platform, they have a very complex design. Even their application is also very complicated, right? So I have never worked with that, so I cannot comment on that, what is basically the best practice. But yeah, voice is like everywhere. You go to car, you say that, hey, switch on, switch off. So that's something which will come. But behind that, there is no UI, basically. So your voice is your UI. So your design should understand your voice UI. And then accordingly, it should give you that result or output. Now coming back to AR and VR, I have no idea. Like, I have no money to buy those expensive device. So maybe like for healthcare, it is a very useful. But in a consumer field, I'm still not sure how, as a user, I'm going to use this in my daily use. Even it's very hard to put headphone for next, like, for 3-4 hours. It's actually very hard. And like how you will wear this, and so that's how. Yes. So there are two things. Marketing needs the design very fast. You believe or not. Agree, right? I need to run the campaign. Within next 2 hours, I need 15 banners. You need to use template. Practical, right? Now coming to custom, like this homepage I showed you. So I was working with our founder and CEO. So we took around 3-4 days. That was a time frame. Like we have to go live. So what you can do, you have to use your mini design kit, which I showed just now, because we can't make it inconsistent, right? So this will help you to bring consistency. At the same time, these are the tools which we will be using, but our CEO has no access to all these tools. She has only access to that Figma file, and she can only comment on that. So while we are collaborating, all the marketing team has access to Canva and other things. They do some certain extent of work, but we make sure that whenever they are changing something, it should not affect the code design. So custom is possible when you are doing something like very like a big project. But for this small thing, creating a landing page for one campaign, how much customization you can do? You have to use template. That's the practicality. But now this tool will help you to come up with a variety of ideas. So previously, you have only access to this dribble and other stuff to go there. But now if you look at, for example, this my website called SaasDesign, a lot of people got benefited because they changed their design thinking by looking into that exact design. So similarly, this add one mod, which is giving you the real example. So you are not throwing your ideas blindly. You are actually taking some inspiration from there, and you're creating that. So that's how. Yeah, of course, brand consistency is important. Like a lot of time, our marketing guy asked that kid, put any color, but don't put brand color. I said that, give me a reason, 2 reasons why I'll not put, because you can't blindly go and put random color and random thing, because your user will not be able to recall. And so we do a lot of workshop internally with our team to make sure that they also understand who are non-designers. So one of my biggest tasks inside Zomentum is to do, like every 15 days or every 1 month, I do workshop with sales, marketing, as well as QA team, because they also need to understand the design. If they don't at par with their with the knowledge which we have, then they will also ask for different things. So this is a very hardest part inside Zomentum, and we have a very small team. We have eight members in the design team, including one Webflow developer. and some marketing people. But we all are remote, so we have to be very like empathic to everyone. We can't force them, hey, come and learn. They will never learn, right? So that's how. Right now, we don't use. So, so I'll tell you why. So, for any product design or the UI design, we used to use Photoshop earlier. Then we moved from Photoshop to Sketch app, then Sketch to Figma. Now look at the Photoshop. It is meant for photo editing, not for doing UI design, right? Now photo editing, if you look at that, you want to touch some of your like photograph, you have to go to a Photoshop expert and do all the touching, right? How much time you will spend? Look at these tools. Within a fraction of a second, they will do. Why I will spend time and money on this Adobe? As I told you, marketing needs 15 banner within next 2 hours. You have to use template. Now, when it comes to like some presentation, let's say, like sometimes happen like my CEO is going to some investor pitch or big client pitch. He said that you have 7 days time, come up with ideas. And we need a very, very convertible pitch. Like after looking to the presentation, they should give us money. So there we experiment with Illustrator, we experiment with Photoshop. Even we have a lot of onboarding videos which I work, like I used After Effects to animate all our product screenshots with very tiny details, because there you get time. But when it comes to, like, let's say you are designing homepage, which you will keep for next 6 months. So to do that, you need to spend at least a week time to brainstorm and come up with the ideas. But if you are building a landing page, which will be for next 3 days only, look at the investment which you are making. So one more thing which we started inside our team, if I am designing this, I should make sure that this brings some customer. How? With the data. So once our designer designed this, we go and check analytical data from back and even the ad, like clicks and all. And then we make sure that the next campaign will not do something wrong. We have a lot of learning from this data. And then we, again, redesign it. So that's the designer job, to make sure that if I am designing one banner, at least one inquiry is coming. So that's how we are slowly implementing that. It's hard because designer never understand data. So that's also a big challenge. So we use, like, as I showed, that one is for our website and all, Hotjar and Full Story. For our, all the ads, this ad company has their own tool. And after that, we also, inside the product, we use Mixpanel. Now I think we changed to Habo Data or something, which our product team implemented that. And then we put, take all the raw data, and then we have some internal formula inside Excel. We fit that, and then we take some decision from there. So for an example, I showed you that somebody is moving there, right? So that data is actually connected with our Google Analytics. How we look at the Google Analytics data, we have seen that 100 people came to demo page, but only 5 people put their details for demo. So now we look that who all these 5 people who actually put this data. First we get the positive data, that who all put that and what they have done. We match with their location, because it's in outside our product, so we don't have control. So we match with their location, their session timing, all this we match, and then we look at all the sessions. After that, whoever is not put, so that funnel thing, we manually go and check with Google Analytics. And we also recently implemented Microsoft Clarity. I think, we are slowly moving away from this Hotjar, because Hotjar is not able to remove a lot of our internal users. So we are getting those funnel things from there. And we have one guy who actually do all this formula and everything in the back end. So if we need some data, we ask them, okay, we need this time, this date, data that show me the drop-offs there. So they will give you number of people drop-offs, and then we match with the session. That, what happened exactly with the drop-off. And then then that's a manual thing, right? Whether there is a content problem, or there is a UI problem, or there is a layout problem. So if a user is clicking many times and nothing is happening, that means there is a UI problem. If a user is selecting some content, that means he wants to read the content, but he's not very clear. So that's how we analyze. So, and then we take decision. Oh, so I have a Bengali channel I uploaded, so myself is Bengali, so I uploaded 120 videos there, but very less subscribers but I'm fine because I am very flexible there. So the dashboard video is there. If you understand Bengali, you can go and check that. So my flow is very simple. Previously, when I first started YouTube video, so I used to write script. Even this promo video, I wrote a script through ChatGPT and it was horrible, right? Because when you read script, very difficult. So now I don't write any script. I just open the camera and I started speaking. And then after that I edit, but most of the time my editing happened for the screens. So I use a software called Camtasia Studio. So Camtasia Studio will give you a very clear, if you want to zoom in, zoom out and show that. So Camtasia Studio give me a clear thing. That is for Windows and Mac both, but for anything I'm doing specially for Mac, then there is another software I use called ScreenFlow. ScreenFlow will give you the similar capacity. So previously what I used to do is I used to record my photo and videos, and then I used to combine, and it was a big problem. So now I capture this Sony ZV-1, which is like a vlogging camera. And now I don't need also, because I can actually create video from my phone. So that continuity, so that camera feeds comes. And then in one shots, I record screen, videos, and my sound. The only problem is that Camtasia Studio has a slight 1 second of delay between your video and how you are speaking. So I use a clap. So make sure that the clap sound match with my this thing. And then I just cut this. And I have seen if I put a lot of effort to do the editing of the video, then people don't watch, so I put it organically. If there's a mistake, I keep that mistake. So that's how I... No, so Camtasia has the editing thing. You just go cut and do that. And there's a nice thing. Have you ever seen that somebody is speaking and then background music is coming? When he is not speaking, then background is going up and then slow it down. So Camtasia has that inbuilt. You put the music and say that what is the level you need. So automatically it fits. You don't need manual to do. So that's what so I don't use Premiere Pro at all, because you have to do manually. Here, I'm doing it automatically. So one video take me around hour time to do record and upload things. So that's how. Camtasia Studio. Hotjar and Full Story. Hotjar and Full Story. So they record the session of your user. So as I mentioned, if they are dragging the content, if they're selecting content, means they're trying to read the content. If they're coming back again and again in that particular part, especially you have seen on the pricing page, so we have some features, they click again, they close, they click again, they close. That means there is some issues there. So then we go to our product team or the team that, hey, why this happened, right? So that's how we put some assumptions, but still a very, very experimental thing. We don't know it yet, whether to fix or not. But the navigation part, we are very clear that they are not clicking. They are trying to click somewhere, but it is not happening. That means it's a genuine UI issue. So that's how we make sure that we get more and more demos. So for UI, I can tell you, So you have a mental model. Everybody has the mental model. If I ask you that, hey, close your eyes and think about library, what you will think? You'll think a shelf and then books. So in design also, everybody has their own pattern in their mind. And globally, if you go somewhere, if you don't know the language also, you will understand by the symbol and the visuals. So if there is a button, you should treat that as a button. If there's a link, you should treat that as a link. Don't over engineer on that and create. So that will not convert. So, a lot of my friends, they do design for consumer app, they do a lot of animations. But in SaaS, it never works because it's a real business, right? Not for fun and game. So if one click mistakes, that means you have a lot of campaign money gone there. So you have to use the general, all the universal, UI element to make sure that if it's a link, so link. If it is a text, so put it on a bold, clear. A lot of designers suggest that don't use black. I suggest use black because if you go to Windows monitor, every black will look different, and this is true. And whenever you are designing, so one of our designer designed on Windows machine. Slowly, we all are moving on Windows because our 90% users are on Windows. That's the pattern. We understood. So if we are designing on Mac, that means we are building Titanic, but they are using a simple ship, like boat. So why don't we start designing on boat only? So then we will understand that. So a lot of our page, actually, we check on Windows machine first before even the development inside Webflow, and then we, publish them because our color looks different in different Windows machine. It's like an Android story. Every Android device is a different. So that's how we understand the pattern. So what is the platform you're using? Sorry, you have to go from there. So WordPress is a good, but we use Webflow. We have a lot of integrations. Like our entire products registration happen through our website, by the way. So there is a hidden link we share with our sales people. So they use, they apply coupon code and all. So we have not even put an engineer there to build the UI. Our Webflow guy already done that because it's like a drag and drop and what we've done. So it depends on your platform also, how you're optimizing it. Apart from Hotjar, whatever, what all other integrations you have. So it also depend on how you implemented them. For an example, we also use Google Tag Manager. We have Pipedrive, we have HubSpot, we have Hotjar. Similarly, same time we run Hotjar and Clarity both. So we had some issues. So how we identified that? We have identified that Pipedrive, that code is repeated 2 pages. So it was in a loop. And website was very slow. It was opening on after 3 minutes. So you have to look at that if the codes are any clashes or not. But generally it should not happen. Now our sites are very fast. Even we don't have any backend engineer or something for our website because everything is done by Webflow. So that's how. And we are there from day one. So last 4 years we are paying to Webflow and then we are actually using it. And we have 0 engineer or developer. Zomentum.com. Even SaaS UI design also in Webflow. I don't pay it because Webflow gave me free of cost because is that go ahead and do that. And if you look at the SaaS UI speed, all are images. It opens very fast. Everything is image. And I have this big guy, Full Story. Full Story is actually very complicated code. So we have implemented that also. And I have no designer developer for SaaS UI. I am the only guy. So I have one colleague who submits some of the screens sometimes as a curator. But that's a content font. Cool. Thank you so much. Thanks.